Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Have you ever felt trapped by the weight of past hurts, like a dark cloud is constantly following you? We all carry wounds, and sometimes the hardest thing to do is forgive. Well, let's do a deep dive into Chapter 1. Forgiveness, the double-edged word, and these are some of the topics we're going to talk about. The control of pain, sensitivity and forgiveness, healing from damage, trauma and the path to forgiveness, anxiety, panic attacks and forgiveness, rekindling optimism and forgiveness, Lysa's personal story, and we're going to do some personal reflection and call to action. So today we're diving deep into the power of forgiveness. It's not about condoning what happened, but about liberating yourself from the pain and stepping into a brighter, more hopeful future. So let's explore how forgiveness can help us navigate pain, trauma, and anxiety, and ultimately lead us to a brighter future, a more healthier self, and a more healthier mind. Also in this video, we'll unpack what forgiveness really means. We'll look at how pain can control us, how our sensitivity plays a role, and how to start healing from past damage. We'll also ask ourselves, how do you really feel? Really truly acknowledging how you feel is one of the first steps in the healing process. We'll even touch on how trauma and anxiety can complicate things sometimes, and how forgiveness can ultimately reignite our hope. It is a crucial step in our healing journey. Plus, we'll hear a story, Lysa's personal story about the complexities of the forgiveness in the parking lot example. So stick around because this is a journey to personal freedom and emotional growth. So first, we want to talk about the control of pain. Let's start with the core issue, how pain can consume us. Think about it. When you hold on to a grudge or resentment, it's like carrying a heavy weight. That weight dictates your thoughts, your actions, and even your relationships. In the book, it says, the more we allow our pain to consume us, the more it will control us. So forgiveness is about reclaiming that control. It's about saying, I acknowledge this pain, but I refuse to let it define me. As Brené Brown wisely states in The Gifts of Imperfection, embracing our vulnerabilities is a path toward healing and empowerment. When we stop fighting our pain and start understanding it, we can begin to move forward. Taking ownership of our pain and using it as a catalyst for growth can lead to empowerment rather than victimhood. We can use the pain to find strength and move forward. Being hypersensitive often means feeling emotions more deeply than others. Now, for those of us who are highly sensitive, forgiveness can feel like climbing a mountain. We feel emotions so deeply that hurts and betrayals can amplify in our minds. However, sensitivity can also be a superpower because with that deep emotions also comes greater empathy. When we practice forgiveness, we're not just releasing ourselves from the hurt, we're also fostering understanding and compassion for others. As Elaine Aron highlights in The Highly Sensitive Person, embracing our sensitivity can enhance our connections with those around us, allowing us to grow closer to the ones we love and support. Embracing sensitivity can help us connect more authentically with ourselves and others. Many people carry the label of damaged due to past experiences, and many of us carry wounds from past experiences as well. We might even feel damaged, and those wounds can make forgiveness seem impossible. We might feel trapped, alone, and like we are beyond repair. But remember, forgiveness is a gift we give ourselves. It's about healing, not condoning. And Bessel van der Kolk in The Body Keeps the Score reminds us that acknowledging our pain helps us to move forward and ultimately find peace. It's okay to acknowledge our scars and even show them off. It is a part of our story, and they allow us to embrace our resilience. Remember, it's not about being unbroken. It's about how we choose to heal and grow. Trauma and the path to forgiveness. Trauma can create a lasting impact on our lives. Now, let's be honest. Trauma complicates things. And in fact, trauma complicates everything, including our ability to forgive. It can bury that ability so deep within us that it feels like it doesn't exist anymore. It's important to recognize that forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting the pain. Rather, it's about freeing ourselves from the burden of that pain. Understanding our trauma can be the first step toward healing and forgiveness, as emphasized in Peter Levine, Walking the Tiger. Peter understood that trauma is not just a past event, but a present experience that can help in addressing its effects. Healing is possible, and it starts with recognizing and validating our pain. Anxiety, panic attacks, and forgiveness. Embracing who we are today despite our past choices is a vital part of healing. Are you afraid of the person you've become? The journey through pain can sometimes make us strangers to ourselves. So it's essential to practice self-forgiveness on this journey. Embracing who we are today despite our past choices is a vital part of healing. Kristen Neff, in her book Self-Compassion, emphasizes that being kind to ourselves allows us to grow and evolve. Remembering anxiety and panic attacks can feel like a loss of control. However, learning coping strategies such as mindfulness and breathing techniques can empower individuals to regain control over their bodies and minds. And you are not alone in this battle. Anxiety and panic attacks can feel like a loss of control. However, learning coping strategies such as mindfulness and breathing techniques can empower individuals to regain control over their bodies and minds. Just remember, you are not alone in this battle. Rekindling optimism and forgiveness. Losing hope can feel paralyzing, but it's essential to recognize that optimism can be cultivated. When we feel burdened by past hurts, it can be challenging to see a hopeful future. However, forgiveness can rekindle that hope. By letting go of past grievances, we create space for new possibilities. Martin Seligman's Flourish reminds us that our mindset can shape our future, and forgiveness is a powerful tool in that transformation. Losing hope can feel paralyzing, but it's essential to recognize that optimism can be cultivated. Small steps towards gratitude and focusing on what can be controlled can help shift our perspective and reignite hope for the future. Let's take a look at Lysa's personal story, The Parking Lot. She spent that day isolating herself from making new memories with her friends because of her inability to recognize the soldiers of unforgiveness. That shows how holding on to grudges can lead to increased anxiety and depression. It also prevented Lysa from moving on and enjoying that day at the beach. Just imagine how Lysa felt on the drive home. Instead of facing her pain, she suppressed it, and as a result, made her feel even worse. That day was a missed opportunity for healing, and she was so close to receiving it. The story of Lysa shows us that it is imperative to move forward from our hurt and embrace healing as soon as it is safe to do so. Now, I would like to talk about the importance of vulnerability and God's role in healing. Embracing vulnerability is essential for healing from past hurts. Vulnerability is a strength that fosters connection and healing. Don't be afraid to face your pain. Instead of facing her pain, she suppressed it, and as a result, it made her feel worse. Your spiritual walk can provide a framework for understanding and processing pain, enhancing the journey towards forgiveness, seeking divine guidance in forgiveness, and learning and growing through this process. And now we're going to switch gears into our personal reflection and call to action. So, the question I like to ask myself sometimes is, where do you go from here? I want to encourage you to take some time to reflect on your own experiences with forgiveness and your next steps towards healing. Maybe get a journal and write down your thoughts and feelings regarding forgiveness. Identify any relationships that may need healing. And remember, forgiveness is a journey, not a destination. It's a process and it takes time. Be patient with yourself, be kind to yourself, and celebrate every small step you take. And above all, know that you are capable of healing, of forgiveness, and of creating a brighter future for yourself. Thank you. And remember to be kind to yourselves. Till next time, goodbye.